Focus in on Satin Creditcare. Lots to talk about with respect to their asset quality, what the view is when it comes to their net interest margins, and where they are likely to see growth. HB Singh is the chairman and managing director now joining us. Thanks much for taking time out. Now, Mr. Singh, you managed to post a growth of 26% on a year-on-year basis in Q1, which is traditionally a weak quarter. Given the fact that we've got the upcoming festive season, the kind of traction that we're expecting, do you think that a 25% plus growth target that has been outlined is a bit conservative? Would you revisit that?
So I think, we gave a guidance at the early start of the year. For us, I think the idea was that, we could post a growth of about 25%. But, this is 25% plus, Our viewpoint is that since the first quarter went out very well, we expect that we will technically outgrow the guidance which we have given. But, to be very conservative and to be very safe, we've given a 25% plus growth target for this year.
Okay, so being realistic there, but nonetheless, there are levers available to kind of beat the guidance of around 25%. But talk to me, where is this growth coming from? Is it a specific, geography which is doing well for you? Or is it a specific vertical in terms of, let's say, rural or SMEs or something which is doing exceptionally well?
So we are predominantly rural, So if you look at a complete AU, this is consisting of about 80%, which is rural. So the rural economy is doing well with probably normal rainfall and normal monsoon being there. The Kharif sowing crops and everything, probably boding well in terms of the demand for consumption as well as for productivity growth, which is there, and the income levels have probably been stable. In fact, they're slightly rising in the rural space. That is one. And the other factor is that for us, in terms of microfinance, I think, the kind of penetration still in the states where we operate is still pretty low. So that actually gives us a pent-up demand in terms of increasing our footprints in these geographies wherever we are present. So I think, that these are two factors which will contribute towards this kind of a growth.
So rural as well as increased penetration, these are the two levers. But does it mean that going forward, your quarterly disbursement rate could be higher than 2,000 crores?
It could possibly be. That's what I said. First quarter being a weak quarter, the fourth quarter, the third and the fourth quarter is always a very, very strong quarter. We hope that we will be able to beat the guidance which we've given.
Okay, fair enough. Give us a sense as well going down the line as to what the outlook is when it comes to your ROA on an annualized basis, because that came in above the stated guidance of about 3.4 to 4%. Your cost to income ratio as well has improved. Given that you're focusing on improving your operational efficiency, what's the outlook?
So we've given an outlook technically based on the average which was there for the last year, for this year was about 3.66%. And we've given again a guidance of 3.5%. But definitely, looking at the way we are able to surpass our growth figures, I think we'll be able to surpass our ROA figures also. Having said that, the reason why we feel that we are pretty confident in terms of when we did our analyst day meet, we are very confident because of the pent-up demand, because of the asset quality being much better than what we really expected. And possibly also the fact is that whatever had happened during the pandemic, I think that is all over now. We made all write-offs and provisions, and we have nothing more to practically look at in terms of stability. And once all these factors start kicking in, our cost to income ratios as well as ROAs, everything will have a positive impact in terms of whatever guidance we've given.
Okay, I just wanted to highlight that specific issue since you're talking about write-offs and collections and all of that. Could you provide us a status update on the Assam historical collections that you were about to receive from the government? Because we understand they had been a bit delayed and you were expecting the first tranche. Has it happened?
See, the data has already been given to the state government. In fact, the state government has also cleared up that data along with us, along with the self-regulatory organization MFIN with us. We were expecting that this first tranche would probably come in. We are very hopeful, and there are signs which are coming in from the state government that this will happen pretty soon. My guess is that looking at it, I think we feel that in the next week or so, we'll get the first tranche, which is going to probably come in as possibly a boost to our bottom line and to get the money back from the state government. So we're very, very hopeful within this week or maybe another 10 days we'll be able to get the money, first tranche money coming in.
Be the quantum of that first tranche?
I think I'm not very clear about the figure, but this will be close to about, I think, 10 to 15 crores, which will come in the first tranche.
Okay. I just want to understand one simple, assessment of how do you see the unsecured space moving up. We are looking at stress in the rural economy. Two-wheeler sales are not there, erratic monsoons are there, inflation is coming higher. Yet every NBFC and bank is looking at increasing the MFI loans or perhaps their unsecured book. Isn't that too risky looking at the backdrop of the economy where the recovery has been K-shaped?
Yeah, I think we will have to look at possibly a few factors which define microfinance. So microfinance is an unsecured loan, but definitely the way this is operated, it is a joint liability. It's a group model, So there is a difference between an individual lending model and a group model. In a group model, definitely, yes, you're looking at peer collateral in terms of the businesses probably or the borrowers probably standing in for each other to repay any kind of a delay in an installment. And that's one, The second factor, I think, which is probably to be looked at, this is income generating loans. This is different from probably an FMCG or maybe a two-wheeler demand which comes up. That's an aspirational value for maybe the rural economy to really look at. Aspirational in whatever degree sense you would probably look at. This is income generating loans. These will actually boost up the income levels of our borrower. Now, these are definitely in demand. This actually helps the borrower to increase their income or their productive capacity. So over here, the demand is there. The capacity to repay, it's been erratic, definitely yes, but it's not been that, we are looking at a drought situation or anything, I think, all the kharif sowing crops as well as everything, it is probably moving in the right direction. So our sense is that yes, definitely stability is there, and we are hopeful for our growth as well as the asset quality which is going to come in.
Hopeful about asset quality, growth as well. So that's the take coming in. Thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. Appreciate you joining us. So expecting perhaps 10-15 crore as the first tranche to come by as far as those Assam collections are concerned. Looking at beating their guidance of 25% AUM growth and penetration as well as the shape up of the rural economy, something that is going to do well for them.